Look.
Check dem streams.
Come drink from my stream.
Drink from the tip of my stream. Right.
Theo, how do you feel about Loyal?
We're
His
on
appearance?
Twitch.
Yeah, I hated that episode. Like, that was my worst episode yet.
Oh yeah, wait. So who's this female Dutch?
Oh no, that's really good. That's better than the Wheel of Time show. Not the looks amazing. That's the League of Legends series on Netflix is really good.
Is
I
it?
really like it. Oh,
It's got a cool animation style.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good, and it's got great music as well. It's got like modern music. I really like it. It's got a bit of a childishness to it, but it's got quite adult themes, and the
I've
characters
only
are really
heard
compelling.
good things.
Cool.
It's really good. They must have put a fuckload of money into it. It's like what Games Workshop should have done instead of Warhammer Plus.
What, as in the thing that no one does?
Yeah. Dota did an animation as well, which is pretty good.
Yeah, Dota
It's
can
an
fuck
anime.
off.
They made an anime. What do you mean?
Yeah, I saw that.
You said Dota can fuck off, but League is fine?
Leader's fine,
guys,
but
I have no
apparently
comparison.
the League
I've
of
never.
Legends anime has nothing to do with the game.
The anime does. It's characters from the game.
Jake was like, it has nothing to do with the game. It's great. And I was like, oh. Because I haven't watched it.
Wait,
Just don't.
I'm so confused. The Dota anime is literally about the Dragon Knight, who's the main poster boy character.
No,
from
as
Dota.
then the League of Legends one, you don't have to know shit about the game or anything.
Oh no, yeah, you don't in Dota either. It's like a totally made up thing. It's just
Is
about
it?
character.
Yeah. No, there's basically like I think she's probably in the game, but she's like a Street Fighter kind of boxer type character.
Sick.
She's great. She's really good. She's fucking like.
What's she called? I'll have a look.
unit.
So I'll look like like fight scene or some
Oh
shit.
my god.
Right, we're gonna start.
Let's start. That's fine.
Are we on Twitch?
We've been streaming it the
we're
whole
on.
time.
Yeah, we're on.
Oh,
Let's
great.
go.
That went out then.
Okay, so boil up a pot, take a seat inside the hedge maze, and enjoy a leafy brew with the Journeyman Questers.
The Journeyman Questions!
I forgot to ask someone to do the catch up, so instead, I'll just do a quick impromptu reminder of what happened last time with this on in the background. So previously, the Gypsies of Fortune were at the residence. I can hear myself, Mike.
I can hear myself as
The
well.
Gypsies of Fortune were at the Midnight Mercer's mansion. Lord Balthazar had been seduced to his chamber, where the rest of the party were in wait, or disguised as animals or sultry ladies. Hiding behind the bookshelf, a trap was sprung in which you dealt with Lord Balthazar swiftly, Ruthus stepping forth and unleashing a full round of attacks and then some with his action surge to completely eviscerate Lord Balthazar. With that happening fairly quickly, and him then bleeding out on the ground slowly as I rolled death saves, you began to clean up the mess and move into the other chamber. You discovered some things about the artifacts that were in this chamber. You discovered that the strange lantern seemed to need a soul of some kind to ignite it. And realizing that Lord Balthazar had already passed and was too late for this, you decided to get an animal from outside and attract it towards this lantern. However, Zook, being the Archdruid of Air, of the Aesine Forest, it was not to be, and the easy route had to be squandered, and instead the more difficult route taken to have a moral druidic high ground. The guard outside the door, the personal bodyguard to Lord Balthazar himself, this giant Goliath, was going to be this target. And so you lured him into the room behind the bookshelf with some Richter-style wizardry and disguising, and turned him into a worm. Is it a worm?
Yeah, an earthworm.
And hit him a bunch, turned him into an earthworm, and then all together eviscerated him, similarly to how you had done Lord Balthazar in. And in that short time when he passed, Fandel of the Fifth Tower managed to siphon his soul into the lantern, which began to glow with a pale and eerie light. Within the room, the plants immediately began to shift and move away from this light unnaturally, as if in pain, which was quickly noticed by the party. Through some deducing, a light bulb moment happened in which you realised that plants, maze plants, and realised that indeed the lantern could be somehow linked with the maze, as there was nothing else in this room that gave any clues to a vault or where the cubic gate would be. The only thing that you had that Fandel managed to unlock was this cylinder that slowly and geometrically began to kind of unlock and kind of shift to become larger and kind of geometrically key-like. He deduced that it would probably slot into some kind of large keyhole or potentially big door, the size of it, kind of lugging it around. With that, and as it was later into the party, and most of the party was seemingly quite drunk at this point, as in not you, as in the rest of the mansion, you slipped out, disguising yourself with Fandel's illusions of seeming. Oh yeah, and Fandel also set a programmed illusion on the room, helping you out in a great way and covering your back. You took on the guise of partygoers and guards, and Richter himself as Lord Balthazar, and you descended the stairs out into the heading towards the maze. But you bumped into Wendelin on the stairs, and there was a very good roll in which Richter managed to deceive the High Inquisitor of the city of Xanthar and pass unnoticed through the rest of the mansion and out into the night, through the back exit, where servants witnessed you walking out into the lower gardens towards the maze. You arrived at the entrance to this hedge maze, a large arced, hedged sort of gateway led into the maze, maybe 20-30 feet before taking a corner cut, and you couldn't see any more into the maze. The gate itself perfectly sort of trimmed and carved to create these kind of spirals and columns, like as if it was made from metal. Holding the lantern forth ahead of you, you could see a ripple appear through the maze, almost like a gust of wind blowing the leaves in succession. It recoiled away from this light, and at the far end, maybe a distance off, where it would turn the corner, instead the leaves parted, as if a shoal of fish scurrying away from its predator, kind of pushing back and coiling apart with creaking and tearing noises, revealing a new path cutting straight through the maze itself. who was holding the lantern? Was it Rufus? It was, wasn't it? He was the one to stride
Yeah,
forwards.
I think so.
Rufus turned, looking towards you all and beckoning you forth into this maze. That is where we will pick up today's session. You all stand at the entrance of said maze. Rufus aways in. It was you, Rufus, right, that had the lantern. You were the one that strode in first.
I wasn't carrying it, but I strode in, just saying to the others, quickly, we must not dally here. Let us enter.
In that
And
case,
then I strode in.
probably Fandel who has the lantern, and he's going to pass it. I remember you covered it. He's going to hold it out if anyone wants to take it from him.
Yeah, I'll take it as I go in.
Okay.
Come, let us get out of the open as quickly as we can.
Yeah, just follow him in.
Yep.
Take a quick look before we leave, before we go inside, see if anyone has noticed us.
Yeah, can I have a look?
I believe you did that before the end of the session. You looked back behind and didn't notice anyone following you.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Can I just quickly check the plants? Do they seem natural or corrupted?
As you step into this new pathway that's been forged, you take a look at the kind of leaves, the type of hedge. Roll me a nature check.
Okay. Oh God, no, that's an 11.
Looking at it, it's definitely reacting to the light, even kind of touching and holding it. You can feel it almost quivering. You can feel as a powerful druid, you can feel the amount of nature magic here is strong. It's all around you, but yet it doesn't necessarily feel corrupted to you, but it also doesn't necessarily feel nice. It doesn't feel unnatural, but it's
Delicious.
Sinister.
But it's putting you, it's sinister in some way,
Like,
and it's
like naughty druid magic.
you're not sure.
Maybe deadly.
You all step forwards through the maze into this new path. The ground beneath you is kind of like soft and spongy. It's like a peaty soil with bits of wood chip in. It's very dark, sort of a dark brown color, really rich, like earthy floor. And the vibrance of this kind of emerald green hedgerow, even in the dark light, is still kind of glowing with a vibrance. You turn as the hedge closes back up behind you, slowly knitting itself back together, the kind of tendrils touching and pulling itself closed behind you. And you stand with 3 different directions to go in immediately. Shining the light sort of forwards, the hedgerow recoils somewhat, but not to the extent that it creates new paths through the maze.
As the maze closes up again, I imagine Rufus would have turned round to look at it as it closed. Does shining the light on it do anything? Does it reopen or just stays where it is?
No, it continues to close even with the light on it. I mean, it quivers and reacts to the light being on it, but it doesn't shrink away in the same manner that it did before. We are going to enter a skill challenge now. The skill challenge is a fairly complex skill challenge, as it is a complex maze. I will not reveal how many successes you need, nor will I reveal how many failures you need.
Oh dear.
What I need you all to do, to begin with, is roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, have my dice.
And I will roll
What is
for...
this? What is it for? Is it stunned or unconscious?
Nope.
Okay, just because I get advantage in it.
Yeah.
Rufus, you have advantage. Don't forget.
Oh,
What am I doing? Intelligence.
saving throw.
Int saving throw.
That's
Oh,
fucking
thank the
nice.
Lord.
Power.
I'll roll for Fandel, but can someone roll for Richter?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Good thing.
You got 10.
Have you got dice now, Mike?
Yeah, I got my Warhammer stuff after the Warhammer day. All my dice.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Locked
Yeah.
and loaded.
I rolled a natural 18 for my intelligence saving throw. Dutch is feeling clever today. He feels like I've made some good decisions.
This is a chrysanthemum plant.
So, I recognise these leaves, Zook.
These plants make me itch. Don't rub them on your balls.
Don't use them to wipe your ass, lads. Couldn't sit down for a week.
Do you want our saving throws, Dash?
I'm just looking up... Sorry, I had to open Fandel's plus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fandel got 22. Jesus.
Fuck yeah, Fandel. Fandam.
Yes.
Well,
Damn.
Rufus, what did you get?
I got a 12.
A 12. Dylan,
An 11.
an 11. Dutch,
I got an 18 and I rolled a 10 for Richter, but I don't know what his mod is.
oh yeah, let me quickly get that here. Richter's modifier is a +1.
Oh, so you got an 11.
And sorry, what did you get?
I got an 18.
And Zook,
19.
a 19. You all stand there together in this eerie, sort of cold light from the lantern, and you feel this presence surrounding you, the presence of the hedge maze now that you are within it, and it is extremely unsettling. You turn away from the branches, inspecting them, Zook, and you feel it kind of pushing in on you. You glance around, kind of mist filling the floor slowly and moving away. You swear you see things move. It might just be the wind blowing the hedges, or it might just be the hedge itself recoiling from the light. But you all collectively swear you saw something.
Tread lightly, companions. There is danger in these hedges. Not always as it seems.
I can't bless as we get into the maze.
It only lasts a minute, which I tell you every time.
Yeah, but I imagine there's going to be a skill challenge any second. No, I can't bless.
Okay.
Rufus is
Me and Dylan and Fandel.
Okay. Rufus?
Rufus is gonna like glance around at the party with a worried look in his eyes, and finishes with a flick of the eyes at Zook, a sort of despair, like a knowing despair at the other forest gnome, and he says, mostly towards Zook but towards the others as well, this feels wrong. It feels broken. You feel it too, Zook? Like the plants, the natures here are crying out.
It's almost like they're sick. Or no, it's not sick. They're not diseased. They just obey the call of a master that has no good intent for anyone that ventures in here.
It's wrong. It's wrong that these beings should be caged this way. And Rufus will reach out a hand and put a hand on one of the sort of trunks of one of the hedges. He's going to close his eyes and concentrate, and some greener, more vibrant looking grasses and little buds sprout underneath his feet. And he opens his eyes and they flash a green. I'm going to use my my pact of high canopy, my primeval awareness, to sense if there are the following types of creatures within a mile: aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Ooh.
Dragons, elementals, fae,
celestials,
celestials,
aberrations, everything.
Okay, let me just quickly have a look.
Everything.
It doesn't reveal where they are or how many, just if they're there.
Furbolgs.
Within how far, sorry?
Within a mile.
The only... Oh, no, hang on. I've got to check a couple things. Celestials, fiends, fae, undead,
Aberrations, dragons. Yeah.
You sense undead, and you also sense fiends, or a fiend, or you don't know how many.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Rufus, his eyes flash open with the green, and then it immediately dissipates, and then he shakes his head and shivers, and then looks back towards the others. We're not alone here. The undead, and fiends at least, Balthazar has guarding this place.
That's most disconcerting. We should certainly tread lightly. Did you say there were 3 paths, Tash?
There are, however, it's sort of slightly irrelevant because we're starting the skill challenge.
Yeah, sure.
It's more a case of you don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a certain number of successes that you need, and there is a certain number of failures. Who would like to helm the first skill of this skill challenge?
So I've got an idea about navigating. Zook is going to use a spell for this.
Okay.
He's going to use the Staff of High Canopy, and he's going to sink it into the soil, and the roots kind of twist around the roots of the bushes and the hedges, and he's going to cast Speak with Plants. And he's basically going to ask, there is a man, a 2-legged beast that walks through these hedges. Which way does he travel?
Kneeling down, planting High Canopy, it grips into the soil. And as the staff connects with the hedge, you feel the roots, the tendrils of them just slowly curling into each other to make that connection with this plant. Screaming fills your head.
Oh, shit.
The screams of like 100 voices. You know when a wet log burns on a fire and it makes that kind of squealing hiss? Imagine like 1,000 of those enter your mind. I'm going to class that as an immediate failure on the skill challenge.
Oh, fuck.
That's
nice one, Rupert.
That's the risk of a spell. That is always the risk of a spell.
Great.
And not only that, but I need you to make me another intelligence saving throw.
Okay. That's unnatural 20.
You get that same sensation of everything pressing in around you, but it fills your head. You pull the staff out of the ground, like releasing, snapping at roots that are kind of gripping at it as you pull it away from the thick dirt. The immediate noise in your head stops, and you manage to kind of essentially stop yourself from losing your mind slightly. That is the first failure, and with which comes one of the failures on the chart.
Oh no.
So let me do a big red X on that one. Okay.
Are they all the same, or are some significantly worse than others?
They get so successes you roll on the chart, and failures are in order, and they get successively worse. So you might not ever reach however many failures are there. So the first one is you attempt this, but alas, to no avail. And you wander about the maze, just trying to pick your way through as a party together, using the lantern to kind of guide you. But you feel this presence all around. And as you kind of continue to move and make your way through, you find that you are just wandering into this maze. Maybe 15 minutes passes of kind of walking before you realize that you just have no idea where you are or where you've wandered to. And it would seem that the maze has led you astray. That is all that the first failure is. Nothing more than that happens. The rest are quite bad. I need everyone to make another intelligence saving throw, and that will happen after every single check.
I'm going to do mine first. I'll tell you what it is if you want me to do Richter's again.
Yes, please. I'll do.
I got a natural 8. Victor got a natural 1.
No.
Oh. He gets sucked into the hedge maze.
He gets vomited on by the hedge and everything's fine.
So I will need Richter
Gets wet willied by a branch.
roll me a percentile, please. A D100, so two of them.
It's wet because it's his blood.
55.
55.
Middle of the road. Pretty much.
We don't want to be in the middle of the road. We want to be on the pavement. It's not safe.
Fuck.
You all stop as Richter just stops and drifts to the back of the group. You turn, looking at him as he kind of stands there looking down into his hand.
Richter?
You right there?
He like kind of gets a jump at you calling his name. Yes, I think so.
I'm going to float up to him and hold still, pull his eyelids up. Do I notice anything strange?
He kind of shies back a bit and puts whatever he had in his hand away in his under his mail.
What is it? What are you hiding? It's okay. We're friends.
You stay away from me. It's mine, you hear? You stay away.
What's yours? Richter, don't be like this. It's the hedge. It's the corruption it's got in your mind. What do you mean?
Maybe.
What's yours?
Maybe, but it's mine. You have yours. This is mine.
What? And where is mine? Point it out to me.
He points towards your staff.
Aye, this is mine, and what is yours is yours. I'm just asking what it is that you're protecting.
My heart. The beat of it.
I see.
It's mine, and it's not yours. So stay away from me.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
What did everyone else get out of interest?
Unnatural 20 again.
An 11.
11.
8.
An 8.
17.
17. Found out I got a 17 plus 7 for a
Oh.
24. Dutch, I need
I
you
modified
to
that
also
for better,
roll me a
but
percentile.
I haven't rolled very well.
I don't know what skill to
I'm gonna
use.
start punching this fucking bush in a minute. 71.
71. Dutch, you begin to... In fact, I'm going to send this to you instead, because then you can do with it what you will.
Yeah, we're keeping the Facebooks open now. Cool.
Okay. In the meantime, who will helm the next skill?
Seeing that his friends are looking lost, and some of them a little worse for wear, and whatever druidic magic that Zook attempted to try and persuade this unruly maze to his will, Dylan will just decide to do it the old-fashioned way, and just carefully scouting ahead, not out of eyesight, but trying to find the correct way, trying to find like the most logical path to the center or to wherever across the maze, using my investigation skill.
Okay.
Should I go for it?
Yep.
That will be a 22.
A 22. Dylan stepping forwards, sensing all around him this kind of moving and swaying of the maze. You begin smelling and picking your way further in. You investigate how the light from the lantern plays across or affects certain parts of the maze. And you follow those kind of clues. You find what smells like maybe perfume or Balthazar, and you follow that a bit further. And you feel confident that you've managed to push on a little bit more through the maze.
Whilst doing this, I'll also say I don't use it very often, but as he's making his way and hearing the tip that Rufus made about the undead and...
Shove the music up your ass!
Was it? What?
What's happening?
Oh, I don't know what's happening. I thought I was covering it up and you guys didn't notice.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah,
right.
that was all in Dylan's head because he was like ahead a bit and he'd be sort of glancing over his shoulder.
I've clocked on.
Yeah.
I thought this was an IRL thing.
I mean, it's very Mike, so.
I love that people didn't question it and thought that was just a Mike thing.
That's going in the book. Oh, man.
Oh my god, that's going in the book, yes. Oh, I love it.
Oh dear.
I was concentrating on trying to think of what skill to do, so I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Yeah, I was in
I
my
just-
sort of...
I heard it in my peripheral hearing.
So actually, I was just going to say, I'm tuning my blood hunter tracking senses to undead and fiends. Was it?
That was what Rufus picked up. Yeah.
So it says, when I'm tracking a creature that type, I can't be surprised by that creature type.
Okay, good to know.
It does actually specify I can only track one at a time. So I'll do undead.
Sure.
Yeah, and I can. Yeah, I mean, I can recall information from them, but it's probably not useful right now.
A quick question to the party.
Yeah.
Is there any way of knowing if the Inquisitors are in here?
Fuck off. I want to go home.
I mean, you didn't see them come this way. They headed to like back towards the main front entrance that you came in. This is like on the other side of the grounds, but it's possible.
Okay. Just got a far-fetched idea.
I need you all to make
anyway.
intelligence saving throws again, as that is the first success.
Oh, what?
Got a 12.
I got a natural 19.
23.
Yeah, Fandel's
I'll
fine.
do Aiden's now.
22.
22. Right.
Fuck!
Is that a natural one again?
Okay,
Oh.
roll me another percentile, please.
Someone else want to do it from now on.
Yeah, can do.
Maybe best, yeah.
86.
An
Oh.
86.
By the way, I just want to say I'm not trying to make light of people that actually have tics with this. It's just the game tells me to do it now.
I mean, it doesn't have to be verbal. It might just be twitches, which is how
Oh, it
I
does.
pictured it in my head.
I
But
think-
you went with the Tourette's version
full-
of tics.
No, I imagine it as Dutch's he's not like mentally trying to stop the tic. He's just physically trying to fight it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to wrestle his arms back down. It's just fucking piece of shit. While stealthing around a maze
Brilliant.
at a party.
Yeah.
Okay,
Running.
I've done that for Richter. Yeah, it's fine.
Was that 2 natural ones, Mike? In a row for Richter?
Who will helm the next part of the skill challenge? You are 1 for 1 at the moment.
Has anyone got a good option?
What, just grabbing the lamp and running forwards? And hoping all the bushes move out the way.
I mean,
Um,
I've got one that might be good. So
okay, I'm going to get mine out of the way now while the failures aren't so bad.
yeah.
Rufus is going to do a classic Rufus, and he's going to history knowledge check his history knowledge of mazes and how they're typically built.
Oh, we're doomed. Oh god.
knowing that they're often built in a certain way, and that historically one has to always stick to the left, take the same turning in order to reach the center of the maze.
Sure. Make me a history check, knowledge check for your knowledge of mazes.
History check.
Your history knowledge of mazes.
It's a 13.
It's a 13. You. This is supposed to be spooky. Okay. You think back to your time as a younger man in your kind of like learned professors. You're studying back at Soul Reach, and you did definitely come across a few books that had tales of mazes, or even perhaps even other people's estates that you visited as a child. They had hedge mazes, and yes, there was indeed the classic keeping to the left would eventually lead you all the way through. And there often are certain tropes to mazes of like the center of the maze is where you need to get to, or the classic sort of telltale dead ends, and you use the knowledge that you have to slowly make your way forwards with the lantern, keeping to the left and following the left-hand route. As you continue on through just following the left, you spiral round through dead ends, and you think you're probably making good progress. Although it might take a while, and it could take a very long while depending on how big this maze is. But you think you've made fairly good progress. Until something grabs at your arm.
Fucking hell.
And the rest of you that are following Rufus just watch him into the hedge and just is pulled in. The hedge begins to kind of curl around his body, pulling him in. You immediately begin to react, pulling him out. You suffer.
Oh god.
Oh no, I don't have any D6 here. I think I took them all out for
the Warhounds.
That means I don't suffer anything, right?
Yep.
No, I'm gonna have to get that. I'll roll it in a sec.
Use the Roll20 app.
Oh, I could do, but then you'd see how much it is.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna find out anyway, right?
Interestingly, yeah, you begin to all pull in and pull Rufus out collectively. Zook, I'd like you to roll me a D6 followed by a D4.
Okay.
As you all collectively grab Rufus and begin to pull him out.
It's a 6 on the D6.
Oh.
And a 3 on the D4.
You feel your magic. Those that can cast spells. So Fandel, Zook, actually Dutch, yeah, but you don't. You're not as powerful. I think it's just actually going to affect Fandel and Dutch, because it won't affect Richter. You rolled a 6 on the D6.
Yeah.
And you rolled a 3 on the D4.
Yeah.
How many 6th level spell slots have you got?
1.
It is sapped away from you.
You mother!
Into the tree.
Oh, fucker!
Fandel also loses 3 6th level spell slots. Not that he had 3, but that could have been very different. You rolled a 6 on the D6.
Ooh.
Was not good.
Oh.
You feel it drain the magic from you.
Loaded dice.
Saying that, if
that wasn't my loaded dice.
If it had been lower, it would have sapped it from anyone with those spell slots. So there's a payoff. You pull Rufus out and chat amongst yourselves. Rufus, you feel fairly damaged. I'm just going to grab some D6 so I can roll the dice.
Okay. So it comes out like covered in scratches from like pointy branches and stuff.
Is that a failure, guys?
I assume so.
What did you roll?
A 13.
Yeah, probably. I'm guessing it's 15 and up.
One success.
Yeah.
Progressively worse. All right, I've got nothing. I have nothing for this.
Oh, I had an inspiration dice actually. I could have re-rolled it.
Oh man.
Is inspiration a reroll now?
Yeah, I think we've done the narrative, so
yeah.
It is unfortunately way too late. Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'll roll these dice.
I have nothing.
You take
whoever.
18 points of non-magical slashing damage and piercing damage. As these thorns kind of caress your body all around and restrict you, but everyone manages to pull you out, but at the cost of it sapping your magical potential.
Rufus comes out, sort of like out of breath and sort of wide-eyed, clasping onto the arms of the people pulling him. Oh, thank you, friends. I guess the old ways don't work here.
It was
This
close
is not-
to a success, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. That is your second failure.
This isn't a normal maze. Whatever you know of them, it's almost like you need to cast it out and think again in new ways. I could try and smell our way to something that's not hedge. There's one idea.
I know that these plants are not natural, but surely, Zook, you have some kind of understanding. You might be able to use that to guide us further into the maze.
I could try. I understand plants, but I don't understand those meddled with by powerful mages or whoever has done this to them. But I can see if I can perhaps... It's nothing to do with nature. It's corrupted. The only thing I can do is try and perceive things through that, I would have thought. So I could possibly try and... I could maybe try and guide us from above the maze.
Oh, I totally forgot, but we'll do it at this point now. I need it was Dylan who got a success. I need you to roll me on the success chart because we didn't do that. I need you to roll me a D10.
Mm-hmm.
A 1.
A 1. You... I didn't think this happened so early. You're all standing there after pulling Rufus out, discussing about what to do next. And you hear Fandel say, "Oh, there's someone there." And you turn and point, looking down further along the corridor into the maze. And there is a figure standing at the end, maybe 40 feet away, sort of tattered robe about them, hood up and over their face. You can faintly see maybe a bit of beard or wiry kind of fur poking from underneath.
Russian.
Is it possible to tell any more about?
Maybe a perception check.
A 3.
No, they're in the darkness, in the mist. Dutch, you're rushing them?
Are we rushing? Are we going?
He's drawn his bow already and has his hand ready for an arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, then I start running.
Leveling my staff.
After him. He must have answers.
You see the figure step forth.
I pull out my snake.
As you kind of begin to run towards him, raising his hands up like this, and the hood falls back, and you see the crazed, wide eyes of what looks to be an older man, an older elven man, but quite small of stature. You're there.
You're here.
Are you still running towards him?
Oh, stop. Seems all right.
He begins kind of walking over until he reaches you, and he just begins sort of like
No, I'm
clasping.
going to put a hand out and be like, whoa.
Please.
Easy there, old man.
He touches your hand and clasps it. You are real. You are all real.
Yeah.
Careful, Dutch.
You there. How long have you been here?
Time. A long time. Such a long time. I cannot find my way out.
Oh, he's got the fucking ticks as well.
What? Old elf man.
What
Did you come in here for?
I am Guidon.
That's just...
Please, help me find my way out.
Cool. So, I've got a plan. What if we chop him up and use little pieces of him so we don't double back on ourselves?
No, please. That happened to the rest
What?
a long time ago.
We do not fear. We are
I-
real indeed, and we will find a way through this, and you're coming with us.
Can I see if he's
We'll
genuinely
get out of
scared,
this.
or if there's something more beneath the?
Yeah, I want to do a look him in the eyes check.
He's part of your success roll.
You can roll me an insight check, Dylan.
Cool. Ooh. A 25.
Ooh. He is most certainly afraid, and seems genuine in his madness and his sort of afflictions. He doesn't strike you at all as being hostile towards you or somehow disguising his true intentions, but he is definitely mad, and you don't know to the extent of what that kind of means. You do notice as well that he, under his kind of shredded cloak, he is wearing quite fine clothes, very old-fashioned in cut. And you, as a investigatory and intellectual person, perhaps with the aid of Ook, just to visualize what he looks like, would deduce that the clothes that he's wearing have seen years of age. There is dirt and sweat sort of around it, and he looks quite emaciated, and the fashion is off as well. It's peculiar.
I'll address him. How have you survived this far without food or water?
This is why I wanted to grab my brother and pull him over and go, I think he ate his friends.
It nourishes me.
What nourishes you? What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense.
The maze. That in its horror it bears fruit and nourishes me.
When you say fruit, can you describe this fruit?
Please, I wish to leave. It has been so long.
Guidon,
Have you ever-
why did you come in here in the first place? Do you remember?
Roll me a persuasion check.
23.
I came here to visit them, to assist my lady and visit the remains of her ancestors.
So are you saying that there's a tomb? There's a family crypt at the center of the maze?
Yes. Yes. How do you know? Who are you all? Do you know my lady? Did she send you to me to find me? She's fond of me, you know.
Sure she is.
Please, have you any water?
Of course.
He takes,
Can I?
He takes it from you and greedily kind of begins to slurp at the water until it's
That's
all...
enough, or you'll be
Oh,
sick.
please.
Can Rufus use history in any way to determine like how old the clothes are or like where he's from?
Yeah, you certainly can. Obviously, this isn't part of the skill challenge. This is in between skill challenges.
That is An unnatural 20.
Ooh. Yes, you would deduce that his clothes are of an era. You've seen pictures, like drawings, and you've visited Xanthar a few times. And with your noble knowledge, you recognize his clothes to be that of a butler of some kind. Probably the family butler. They are clean, or like clean cut. The fashion is old. You can't quite place the exact era, but you'd estimate the fashion sense seems like at least 100 years old for Xanthar. The kind of cut and the design of the attire that he's wearing.
Nice.
Who is your lady?
Please, will you help me? Do I have your word on my help? On your
Is
help?
Is it Lady Mercer you speak of?
Lady Mercer? A merchant? My lady was a merchant. A powerful one. Is a merchant. Sorry, he means is.
This is wasting our time. We should move on.
Please, no.
You wish to follow us?
Take me.
You may.
I could... You came in. You must be able to find your way out.
We're going deeper into the maze, I'm afraid.
Why?
Because I feel that is the only way we can also leave this place is by going further.
No. You must leave this place. You must help me find a way out.
We will be leaving, but not before we've found what we're looking for.
He begins kind of stepping back away from you. I wish not to go further.
Then stay.
I wish not to stay.
My friend, you do not know where you are in this maze. You do not know if you take a route, whether you go further or closer to the exit. You may as well come with us. We will at least keep you safe, and you can share your knowledge of the maze, what you've learned.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's 29.
29.
Oh, sorry, no, 19.
A 19. Okay. I will accompany you. I will come with you for now.
Very well. If you change your mind, you're welcome to take any route, gesturing around him at the varying routes he could take.
Have you any food?
Yeah, I'll pull out an
Perhaps,
apple.
yes.
No, not fruit. Have you any cheese or bread or meat?
If you're that hungry, why won't you eat fruit?
I've had my fill of fruit.
I'm sure we can rustle something up. We'll have a little rummage in the bags. I'm guessing we've got some rations or something.
You've probably got some travel rations, yeah.
I forgot to buy more rations.
He eats some of the kind of dried road rations.
I hate to press, but we should move on.
Okay, who is going to helm the next leg of the skill challenge? You are 1 success to 2 failures at the moment.
We need to do an intelligence check again, don't we, after the last failure?
Yes, Yes, you
Damn it,
no.
Josh.
Didn't you do it already?
Yeah, because
Not
Richter
after-
failed the first time, then Dutch failed, and then Richter failed again.
No, Richter and Dutch failed in the same one.
All right.
Done
Okay.
it 3 times, haven't we?
No, you've all done it twice, but Zook had to do it an extra time. No, you've done
Okay.
it. Yeah.
We've done it 3 times.
You know
we've
what?
done
We'll
it
skip.
twice.
We're gonna skip this one because I can't remember and I don't want to double it. So it's fine. There'll be plenty of them.
How tall are the hedge walls?
They're about 15 feet high. Interestingly, looking up, you see the night sky, but it doesn't look quite right. And as you kind of look at it, you can't see any clouds, nor can you see stars.
Yeah, sure. Won't help flying up. I mean, I could try and track our way to see if there's. Oh, I could have a look
I've
for
got an
Balthazar's.
explorer's pack. Can I look for my compass?
Oh,
When did you get that explorer package?
I've always had an explorer's pack. I started with it.
You started with it. I'm probably
Yeah.
going to say that you don't have that anymore. It's been
Why not?
years. I just don't think you'd have it. In fact, roll
What,
me
you
a-
don't think I would have kept
you
like
know
a
what?
compass?
You can roll me a luck check.
Hey, I feel like Dutch should
Just
be
a
pretty
D20.
fucking lucky.
Just a D20.
Natural 16.
Sure, yeah, you've still got it.
Yeah. Dutch pulls out the compass and hands it to Zook.
Well, I don't normally use these. I just go by the stars on the sun. But seeing as that is not open to us at the moment, so explain to me how these work. I'm just going to get the information on how a compass works from Dutch because
Sure.
Zook hasn't actually used one before. I see. So the north points north. Perhaps I can accompany this with looking for tracks in the dirt to make a survival check in order to track down perhaps some footsteps that might be in place, a fancy footsteps that Balthazar might have worn on his boots. But before I do so, I should also make sure I'm absolutely well equipped to do this. I will cast Enhance Ability and give myself the Owl's Wisdom, which gives me advantage on Wisdom ability checks.
Very good. Roll away.
Okay.
So why did the spell fuck him up before, but not now?
Because he used a spell without making a roll, which means it's either straight success or straight failure. There's no roll. And his spell was to talk to the plants, which I have in my notes that I knew that he would try and talk to the plant. I knew that he would do that. It's sort of a bit of a bait by me. But
I got an unnatural 20.
the compass doesn't offer a huge amount. It seems to point in the right direction for a time, and then you look down and it's just pointing in a different direction, and you can't seem to place yourself. The compass seems to work totally fine, but it's like your orientation is moving. You are not where you were previously. Or maybe the compass is broken. You're not sure. But what you do know is tracks. And eventually you find some. But they are not the footprints of a well-groomed man, a slippery sandal, or a luxurious boot. They are a large, clawed footprint set into the peaty earth.
Ooh.
A good foot wide, with 4 clawed marks at the front and 1 at the back. You can tell that it walks on all 4s. And you can tell that there are more than 1.
I point them out to the others, and I say, there are foul things that lurk these paths.
You follow them for a time until you decide to peel away from them. As
I them further. these tracks?
You can, as just sort of a free thing, yeah.
So, do they look do they look fiend or undead?
They don't. Somehow you can tell, but they don't. You're not going to get the advantage, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, so I can just roll a sort of investigation or survival on it?
Yeah, maybe a survival check as well.
Okay.
And Zook, roll me a d10, because this is a success.
A 25.
25, okay. What did you get for the d10?
A 4.
A 4. Ah, okay. You squat down looking at these tracks, Dylan, with Zook, and you've never seen these tracks before. You don't know what would produce this in terms of you can't think it's definitely this. You can't attach it to anything specifically, but it's definitely a large beast or creature of some kind. The front legs have are more like hands than the back. The back are more like taloned hooves or feet. They're kind of like clawed feet.
Four limbs.
But it seems to walk on all four. But the front seem more like large hands with claws. Occasionally, you see a kind of groove in the ground that you deduce is potentially a tail of some kind. And the other thing that you find is a few small pieces of bone. They look like they've splintered potentially off. Some of them, maybe they had a scrap, or maybe they shed. You're not sure, but it looks like a bone or it's bone, but it looks like a spine, like a not.
It's not like an undead quill. It's not
like a quill, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a piece of a quill, or a few of them.
There's no scales in the footprints.
There are no scales. No
scales.
That is all that you get.
Looking at what my brother's looking at, I'm gonna pick up some of the quills and stuff, and the scales, whatever.
Sure, you pick up a couple. Zook, you begin to take everyone further through the maze, and you feel as though this kind of pressure around you subsides slightly as you begin to kind of make your way further. And ahead, you see sort of reddish smoke rising from the side of the hedgerow. You get close enough to be able to see what's there, and you can see what looks to be pollen or spores of some kind just puffing slowly out of a small group of mushrooms. The mushrooms are red. It's almost the top section of the mushroom almost looks like a crisscrossed kind of nest with red kind of spikes sticking out. It's almost hollow on the inside, and it's just a crisscross like weave pattern, but it's all connected together. They look to be some kind of rare mushroom.
Ooh.
Nasty.
Is there anything that might suggest that it's a poisonous one?
You can make me a nature check.
Okay. Do I still have advantage on wisdom checks?
How long does it last?
Enhance ability. It's an hour.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Sweet. That will be an 18.
You don't know what it is because you've never heard of it or seen it, but yes, it does seem to be poisonous. You imagine the inhaling some of these fumes is likely to be dangerous in some way, but with danger comes reward.
Opportunity.
An opportunity.
Can I just... Yep. Zook will sort of be fascinated by them, and he'll get out an old rag or something, maybe an old bit of cloth, and he'll tie it around his mouth nice and tight. And then he'll pour a bit of water on it to soak it up so that the spores can just kind of like, yeah.
I will say in that case you need to make a Constitution saving throw, but with advantage.
Okay.
as you harvest this.
Ooh, it's an 11.
You do suffer some damage. It is highly toxic. Whoops, I dropped that one. You suffer 6 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And you feel fear set into your heart. Chills run over your body. A cold sweat takes you.
Ooh,
But you manage to sort of shrug it off for now. Meta-wise, for the next 24 hours, your saves against fear effects are with disadvantage.
Okay. Shit.
But you have in your possession an infernal stinkhorn.
Oh God.
And I will.
And you got some new mushrooms as well.
When you use your herbalism kit on it at some other point, I will.
Yeah.
I will let you know what that is, and I will send you the cool image because it's from James Gifford's new guide to herbalism. The beginner's guide to herbalism. There's some sick.
He done a new thing.
He's done a whole new little book. It's great.
Oh.
I might actually get a set of each because they're just so fucking sick. I just want to have them so I can go look at these things I own.
I need to order.
Yeah.
I need to order it off him.
How many do I get?
You just get the one.
One, sure.
Yeah, I said a cluster, but it's like one fat big mushroom.
Yeah. That is one portion.
Great. And you continue on. So, who is going to
Intelligence save?
Yes, everyone needs to do intelligence save. Thank you.
Rupert. Oh, sake.
Oh, I did good that time. I got 18.
Someone want to roll for Richter?
Sure.
It's always
Let's
Especially.
Yes.
I've got a red one for the halberd.
Yeah,
The
bloodstone.
halberd.
Yeah.
Can I do something that isn't the actual check?
What did you get?
Oh no.
A 3.
A 3. Oh, Richter, can you roll me a percentile?
Oh man.
This is much worse than being vomited on.
Okay, so I've got 2d10, so I'll say the yellow one is the small number.
To be honest, the ones that he got aren't actually that bad. The one that Dutch got is shit. Is like so
7.
shit. A 7.
Yeah.
So you got a 0,
Actually,
0,
it's-
7.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see Richter he's holding his heart. His halberd is away in his bag, and he's holding his heart, like it's some kind of treasured possession. He's looking about, looking at you all, kind of keeping it close to him, even though it is himself. He looks pasty, and he has bags under his eyes. He looks kind of slightly confused and dazed, but he still is Richter. He knows who he is. He's with you. He seems to be continuously summoning the halberd in his hands and then putting it away into the bag of withholding, and then summoning it again to make sure it's there, and then putting it away again. Who is going to helm the next? Oh, so Rufus, you wanted to do something prior to the skill check?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn towards the others and say to them, friends, my eyes aren't very good in this light, but can you tell if there's any other life here other than this old man and the creatures that may lurk here? Are there natural things here like birds and rodents and small mammals?
Can I check the floor for droppings, the hedge for nests, and the earth for disturbance of things like snakes and worms?
I'll say with previous survival rolls and being in the maze for a while and your survival checks, you have seen the evidence that creatures are living in here, natural ones. You've seen some rabbit droppings. You haven't seen any warrens specifically, but you've seen some droppings. You've seen the occasional bird nest in the hedge. You haven't necessarily seen a lot of life, but it looks like no matter the circumstance, creatures will kind of try and live no matter where.
This may be a bit far-fetched, but is there any way I can inspect some of the bird nests to tell if the birds are going crazy, if they're making the nests wrong, or anything?
I'll say that there's the nests seem kind of crooked, and you find a couple of nests that are kind of torn apart, like the hedge has moved or grown and destroyed the nest, and they've had to move on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like, you don't see any
making them weirdly.
hedges that have eaten the birds, or you don't find anything crazy disturbing so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Rufus takes that in and says, "Interesting. Perhaps the residents themselves can help us out here, and not. Can I do this not as an actual skill check, but can I just be calling out using beast speech to just calling out to the creatures of the maze, if they can hear me, just shouting out, "Please, is there anyone out there? We need your help."
I'll say that it could be a persuasion check.
Okay. Well, as a skill challenge. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do it. I'm good at that. I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll.
Did you roll and you're re-rolling?
I got a 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to re-roll it.
Okay.
Which would mean that I would... I'd get a 15 still. But I'm going to re-roll it.
Don't get a 2 or a 1.
Not get a 2 or a 1. Oh, it's 17, so that's a 29.
Okay. Rufus begins calling out, whistling, making some sort of bird song. And eventually, springing out of a hedgerow not too far away, a blackbird, kind of scraggy, one of its wings a bit bent, hops out and pops onto the ground and begins hopping slowly side to side towards you until it looks up towards Rufus.
Could I kneel down and get some of the dry rations out of our packs and just crunch it up in my hand and put it out?
It hops slowly over as you begin to persuade it to you. I think because you have beast speech and because you're kind of communicating through that, I've allowed it to be persuasion rather than animal handling, which I think is fine.
Duke's just floating there, rubbing his chin, just very satisfied, like a master in his Padawan.
it comes close and it takes some of the bits and swallows them whole.
As it gets closer, I try and talk to it in a friendly way, just saying, "There, friend, come. Come. We are looking to make friends here in this maze that you call home. This is a scary place, I know. If there's anything you can tell us about this place, we'd love to hear it."
It hops backwards a couple more feet. Roll me a d10.
A 4?
A 4. We've had a 4. Roll me again.
Ooh.
4 again. A 5.
A 5. Follow! And it hops back and begins flapping off. This is just only Rufus obviously understands what it said. It begins not flying but hopping further down and down, and you follow it for a good time through the maze further until you come across what looks to be some old rags lying up against the side. Guidon points towards this a ways off. I know where we are, or at least I've been here before. Thank you, bird.
What happened here?
He like reaches trying to snatch it, but the bird and flies off further down. This is your...
I wave at the bird as it goes. Thank you, friend.
That is a success, and it has led you to this success.
Zook kind of bows in reverence to the bird.
Guidon, you've been here before?
Yes. That is someone I once knew.
What happened to him? Or her?
Lost in the maze, I assume. I stumbled across them many years ago. But there is nothing here for us. Nothing to let us out of this maze.
What kind of robes? Are they just rags, did you say?
It's like similar to Guidon. It's old clothes that are now kind of, they've lost their colour and it's hard to distinguish them from. You're still a distance away.
Can I sense it undead at all?
Have you got some kind of sense?
No, it's just like a tracking thing.
There's no tracks, so
no, sure,
yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Perhaps they had something. Maybe they'd made notes or had left something behind. And have a rummage in the rags.
Approaching, you see that this is a skeleton in old clothes. The skeleton, its bones are a bleached white. No flesh upon them at all. They are old, dry bones. The only thing of note as you kind of rummage through the clothes is that you find still loose and jangling around one of the finger sockets is a ring. It is a very nice looking ring. No particular insignia, but well made and gold.
Can I have a little look on the body for like claw marks or anything that might have shown that this person was killed rather than just died of starvation or something?
Make me a medicine check.
Is it still within the hour that I cast?
Yeah, still within the hour.
Yeah. Natural 18 plus 5, 23.
You inspect the bones, and it is hard to tell the cause of death. And you can tell these bones have been here a long time. The fabric has, just sort of began to rot away. The bones are entirely clean. But what you do notice is that they seem to be missing their right arm from the kind of from the elbow down. And you notice that by their ribs, the two sort of middle ribs here where their heart would have been, on both inner sides of the rib is a groove or a chip on both sides, implying that they potentially were stabbed directly into the heart with a blade.
Guidon?
Yes.
I turned it. Do you have a weapon?
No, I am a servant to my lady.
Are you sure? Check yourself.
I am sure. He sort of pats his pockets down.
Okay. I relay to the others that this guy was shanked.
Does Richter have a speak with dead spell?
He does. He's usually always got that prepared.
It's like the coolest spell, isn't it?
I thought that was Kofi. Who always had that?
Kofin definitely
Richter's
had it.
got it as
but
well.
Richter had it too because he's used it.
Oh.
You know what else Richter
think-
has? He's got that magic bag of bones. That
Oh,
we
he
haven't
does have a
used yet.
bone bag.
Ah,
Um,
yeah.
Richter looks pretty out of it at the moment. He's like just continuously summoning his halberd, and as you get near to even ask him, he's like, "No, stay away from me. It's mine."
Hmm.
Right.
I don't think we should stay here for too long. We've got to keep going. Are we?
Are you moving on?
I don't know what else we can get out of this.
Did you take the ring, or are you leaving the ring?
Yeah.
Do I want to take the ring? I feel like, because
Would
you've asked
Rupert?
me, it's going to curse me now.
Well, I don't. What I don't like is when later I say, "Well, you forgot the ring," and then you're like, "Oh no, we said we were taking it."
Yeah,
And
no,
I know
I would
no
have.
one
I
has
would have
said.
picked it up.
So I just like to make sure.
Maybe get Fandel to have a look at it.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
Sure. Vandel's gonna kneel down.
How many paths are in front of us, Tashi?
There's continuously paths everywhere.
No, but like how many splits are in front of us right now?
There's only one way. You're like along a long corridor.
Oh, okay, cool.
It is magically inert. It seems to be a nice, pricey ring. I would estimate on the market currently that amount of gold in that, with that sort of a fine detailing, 100 gold, 100-fold for such a fine ring.
Do you recognize the symbol on it? Is it like a signet ring?
No, it
Good
has no signet.
Oh right, okay.
Well, very well. Let's be on our way.
So taking ring or not taking ring?
Yes.
And who is
Always take
taking
the
who
ring.
is taking the ring?
Rufus will, I guess.
Okay.
He's the one looking at it.
Okay, who is helming the... Oh, no, you've all got to make intelligence saving throws.
Ah,
What do you find?
11.
and 19.
16.
Dutch?
7.
And Richter?
I haven't rolled for him. Someone want to roll? Else want to roll for him?
Yeah.
Hey, 14.
14. Dutch, roll me a percentile.
$28.
28. Okay. You suffer extreme paranoia. You have disadvantage on wisdom and charisma checks.
Wow.
Wait to kick a man when he's down.
So you are
You're
ticking
ticking like
and
crazy.
you have paranoia.
Yeah, you know, ticking is disadvantage on strength, con, and dex and everything. So I'm basically I've at a disadvantage for everything.
It's only
Ooh.
it's the ticks give you disadvantage on attacks, checks, and saving throws that involve strength or dex, not con.
Oh, that's fine.
It's like affecting your movement. You're like twitching about.
Oh, so I'm like Tweak from fucking South Park.
If you want.
Tweak.
Fandel is going to step forwards. I could potentially lead the way for this leg. I have some skill in the arcane. If I may.
Absolutely.
What do you have in mind, Fandel?
Well, I
Capture
believe this place
abilities.
to be magical or of nature, and I think if I can deduce the ley lines of this magic within the air, sensing it, I could find us a path that would take us either away from the dangerous magics and towards potentially this ominous presence, or away from said ominous presence.
Sounds like sound logic to me.
Very well.
Take it away.
Allow me a second. He begins to concentrate. He's going to cast Detect Magic as part of this, and then he's going to do an Arcana as his roll. That is 12 plus 10 for a 22.
Ooh.
So, Fandel, using this magic, this sensing his magical presence around, begins to lead you further through this maze. Ah, yes, it is as I suspected. There is much magic here. There's not one specific school, but a combination of many schools. Druidic magic, perhaps? There's a big aura of natural magic here of all kinds, but I sense it. There is magic somewhere here. Arcane magic. Yes, the threads, and you can see him kind of looking through the air. I sense them. We'll tease upon this one and follow this. And he begins leading you sort of further down. And someone want to roll me a d10?
Yeah. A 9.
A 9.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, the spell eventually fades. I feel we have made some leeway. I sensed some magic of some kind, some aura nearby. Perhaps that. And he points towards a different plant. You can see growing out of the side of the hedge bright red flowers.
Can I go and inspect them further, see if I recognise the plant?
You don't recognise the plant, but it looks coarse and brambly. There's thorns all on it, but there are these beautiful small red sort of almond-shaped leaves all protruding from the top. You can see that it worms its way sort of into the side of the hedge, but then into the ground, and it's buried quite aggressively into the ground.
Maybe this is a sign. Richter, could you try and dig up the plant? Remove the earth from around it?
Yes, just stay back.
Okay. We'll take a step back. That's fine.
Easily done.
You do you.
He digs around it, and you are able to remove this small shrub. You have in your possession a bramble root.
Oh, is that
Aptly named.
who's got the generic possession thing? Are we keeping a party log of inventory?
Yeah, but what are we keeping? How big is this shrub?
You can put it.
In the bag of holding.
You can put it into the bag of withholding.
Yeah.
Well, can I have a further inspection of it? Can I see if there's?
Sure, make me a nature knowledge check.
Okay.
What's it called? A shrub
Natural
of...
20.
Hey!
I know exactly what it is.
Boobity-boob.
You've never seen it before. However, potentially there are things in the air scene that are similar. You know that it seems to still be alive, even though it is out of the ground, and you could potentially replant this in the ground. It has a magical aura to it, and you realise, yes, it reminds you of something. It reminds you of something in the Bell Wood. It reminds you of the creatures that you fought around that infected tree. The infected tree had kind of infected the forest around, and the Spriggans, the sort of small woodland sprites of the forest had been kind of corrupted. This seems to be almost a juvenile one of those sprites or Spriggans. To be precise, a needle blight.
Needle blight.
If you were to plant this, then at dawn it would awaken. It seems that you would have to sacrifice some of your maximum hit points to prick yourself, give it blood, and plant it in the ground. And at dawn, it would awaken as a little needle blight under your control.
Oh,
when
sick.
when it would die, it would return the hit points back to you. But it can also be brewed, alternatively, into, you imagine, something like a potion of healing, but not quite, an elixir of health, or even a potion of heroism, perhaps.
Okay.
Heroism. I will send
Where's
you.
Cinder, by
I
the
will
way?
send you that. He's back at the dock. Dock
chilling
rats thing.
there.
Can we put Cinder in that fucking lantern?
You didn't bring him with you because if you're turning into a
Oh no, I know. I'm
pigeon
just saying, but like,
flying
I'll
over,
have to figure that out later.
Might protest to that.
Oh, I was so close to just destroying that plant, and actually, it sounds quite cool.
So, with that, I need you all to make intelligence saving throws again.
Full 20.
Come on.
Oh, not so good.
Yes.
12.
Make it.
I got a
Can
19.
someone roll for Richter?
Yeah, I'm feeling hot. 13. Shit.
That's okay.
Is
Dylan,
it?
Dylan, what did
Yeah,
you
it's
get?
over 10. A 21.
21. You feel the presence surrounding you all once more, but you all seem to shrug it off for now. Who will helm the next leg of the journey?
Can I wait
I have
until
an idea.
I have a night? Should we talk for a second?
Aye.
I could wait. We could wait until there's a couple of paths ahead of us, and then I could cast Commune and ask Lufik which way to go.
It's not bad. It's an idea.
Indeed. How long does it take, meta-wise? Is it a ritual?
It is a minute.
Yeah, you've got one a week, right? Is it once a week? You can
Yeah.
cast Commune.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Like it.
Ooh, see if I can sense the. No, nothing fancy. Just
All
Try
right, Dutch. So it's gonna be a spell instead of a skill.
Yeah. And I want to use those quills and scales and stuff I picked off the
there were no
floor.
scales. I said, "Are there scales?" And Tashi said, "No."
It's just like they're like bone quills.
Okay, bone quills and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, I want to use those components. So it's got like local influence.
Okay.
The knowledge of the beasts that have been through. It's a little bit bone splitters.
You lay those bones down, and Dutch, you see, although he's not raging, you see the presence, that green energy enveloping him, but it's not that dripping upward slime. It's this warming but ferocious heat of the mother bear that sort of surrounds over him as he sits there and casts Commune. You feel a growl deep, not in the back of your head, but in your stomach. Do you remember how this works?
Yes or no questions, and I get up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And if I recast the spell, it gets more and more fucky.
Yeah, but you can only cast it once a week. So
So it's fine. So how many paths are laid out in front of us?
you get to a section where there's 3 paths. One forward, one to the left, and one to the right.
I'd like to raise my hand and go, is the path on the left fortuitous or dangerous?
Yes, no question.
Yeah. Shall we go to the path on the left?
I'm just reading it to make sure.
So,
Yeah.
is the path on the left dangerous? Is the path on the left the way we seek to go?
Yeah. Should we go on the path to the left?
Yeah, but shall we go on the path left? It's like, well, yes
Okay,
or
interesting.
no. It's like
So
maybe
they
right?
have to be yes or no questions, but I can answer them. If one word answer could be misleading, I could offer a short phrase. So that's interesting.
Okay.
So you originally said, "Shall we go down the path on the left?"
Yeah.
So you hear the growling, guttural voice of Luthic in your stomach. For a fight, yes.
Think there's something to kill on the left, everyone. Thank you very much. Thus, will the central path lead us to our chosen destination?
Yes.
Thank you, Luthic. Forever be praised. Cave mother, then mother, mother of all orcs. And then, yeah, get up. She said the middle path will take us to where we want to go.
She didn't say that the others wouldn't lead us to where we want to go, though. Perhaps
She said the one on the left is good if you want to fight, and the middle one is the one we want to go down.
What about the one on the right?
Doesn't matter.
I say we take the middle one. Well done, Dutch. You've shown great wisdom and peace of mind in getting those answers.
You stride forth, onward, straight. Roll me a d10.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
A 2.
A 2. With Luthic to guide you, you make good progress. And you feel that closing presence around you seem to subside for a time. You do not require to roll an intelligence save this time.
Cool.
Who is going to take the next leg of the journey?
I might try something. I'm going to try and... So obviously we're surrounded by hedge. And we know that we're heading to possibly a tomb. I'm going to try and smell I'm going to try and smell anything that might smell musty or like old stone rather than vegetation, and follow my nose to something that might be more crypt-like, like stone or iron, something that might be a gate of some kind.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Or yeah, I mean, failing that, just different smells that might warn us of danger. Still in the hour or nay?
I'll say it's just about to end.
Okay. Natural 20.
That's
Fuck.
double success.
Yee!
That means you get 2 successes. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Oh.
okay. So, roll me 2d10, please.
Hallelujah.
Zook.
We've got an 8
An 8
and a 6.
and a 6. Okay. That's cool. You got those two at the same time. Using Zook's keen smell, you push on through, and indeed you do smell the scent of stone, of musty stone and sort of old bones. And it leads you further for a good amount of time. You spend the next 20 minutes making good progress through the maze, uninhibited. Along the way, you find some more flora.
Ooh.
You actually happen to roll 2 of the other floras together.
Oh, nice.
So, you find some blue-looking mushrooms, sort of a small cluster of them. They're quite small, so a cluster is like one, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you also find...
I've seen blue toadshade before. Was it more of those?
No, these are all new. They're all from James's thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You find some kind of vines that are growing out separately. They look like sort of new shoots. They're sharp and brambly with these kind of bright, vivid, light green thorns spiking out the side. With your natural 20, you just sort of cut a few away quite easily. However, you must make a dexterity saving throw as you begin to harvest some.
Okay.
You recognise them as definitely useful and could be brewed.
That's a 15.
You jump back as they come to life and begin slashing towards you. Nimbly jumping to the side, you lop the bottom of them off and they fall to the ground. They twitch a bit before they come still. And you have a bundle of stranglethorn.
Stranglethorn.
You harvest some of the blue mushrooms, which aren't poisonous or deadly to you straight away. And you imagine you can probably brew these up. You can just write down sage shroom.
Shroom.
So we know you have that.
Sweet.
And you know what? With your natural 20, I will tell you a little bit of what each of them do. You don't know what it could be brewed into, either of them, but you do know that the sage shroom, if you ate it, it would give you advantage on intelligence saving throws.
Nice.
For 10 minutes. However, that would use it all up, and it potentially could be brewed into something better later on. Stranglethorn, raw, you could potentially spend a good portion of time, maybe an hour or so, weaving it into some kind of net.
Okay.
But that might take a while. And you think it definitely can be brewed into something, but you're not sure what.
Okay. Sweet.
And that is 2 successes. You are currently 6 successes to 2 failures.
Nice.
But you are still in the maze.
Good Lord.
I've got an idea. It's not really a skill, though. I don't know if it will really help. It's more of a last resort option.
Can we repeat skills, Tashi?
Not in the skill challenge, no.
Not between characters.
You can repeat between characters, but
okay.
You can't repeat your own self.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, sorry, misunderstood.
Rufus, what's your plan? What's your idea?
I can summon an avatar, an echo avatar, and I can transfer my conscious to it, and it can travel up to 1,000 feet away. So I can just put myself into it and send it off down a path, just to see if there's anything there.
Yeah, we could have that exploring ahead of us.
Next.
But
that is not a last-ditch attempt.
But someone will have to carry me.
I can carry you.
You are extremely paranoid, though, Dutch, aren't you?
What skill would you pair with that, Rethus?
Athletics.
Yeah, sure. To keep going.
Yeah.
To keep the the physical ability of
to keep
manifested.
the physical will of maintaining my consciousness in it.
Hey,
I can do it for up to 10 minutes, technically.
Okay, yeah, I like that. That works. Make me an athletics check.
That is a 15.
You send your echo off in the opposite direction, while the rest of you head, I guess, in a separate way. And it takes some time, but eventually, as those 10 minutes come to a close, your echo stumbles across something. Roll me a d10.
4. We've had it. A 1? We've had that as well.
You've had that. You might have to keep
5.
rolling a while. 5.
4. A 2.
Had that.
1. A 9. A 10.
A 10. I've ticked off way more out of the 10 than I have actually ticked, interestingly. I think you're actually on way more successes than I've written down. I need you all to make me an intelligence saving throw real quick.
I don't like
For
those.
the last one.
19.
15.
Oh,
natural
fuck.
20 for old
Fondel.
Fandel.
Antiquity to fondle.
Dutch,
4.
a 4. You can roll me a percentile, please. And Richter,
Shall I do it for him this time?
sure.
Yeah, I'm not touching anyone else's dice today.
Oh, that was a 4.
Oh, no.
66.
66. Clickety click. 66. You've already got that one. Roll again.
You're already afflicted.
Did
in
it
that
twice as bad.
43.
You don't want the tick one twice as bad. 43. Ooh, okay. You begin to hallucinate and begin to experience delusions. What is a potion that Dutch has had that he really enjoyed drinking? That a magic
Potion of strength.
Is it a potion
Yeah,
of
or the-
giant-
No, wait, growth.
It was a potion of growth or a potion of like hill giant strength?
Yeah.
It was
It
right.
makes
Anything
you really
like that.
big.
Had that twice.
You have this delusion that you are currently on that potion. You think you are just massive and you're hulked out. You're like
no
walking
change from
around
normal.
like this.
The whole time.
Well, like,
Paranoid.
paranoid and ticking.
I don't think we'd notice any difference.
There's no
Dutch is
ability
constipated.
changes, so that's fine. So upon that success, you come across a small clearing in the hedge maze, and in the center, you can see like this peaty soil. Looks as though it's been raked or tilled. And in the very center, you can see some shoots protruding from the ground. They
Or
are
plants.
they are a sort of bluish grey.
I gesture to Zook. Plants for you, my friend.
I'll have
Just
a-
digging up this.
I'm just collecting my great botanist museum for Bellwood.
There's five
Turns out this
out
maze
of
is
the
a...
5 out of the 10 successes are plant related, and you happen to roll all of them. So
Fair play. I inspect the plant, see if I know it.
There's a botanical dream
sure,
in
roll
here.
me a nature check.
A 2 plus 7, so a 9.
You have no idea what this is, and they're just really plain sort of grey blue stalks, all protruding from one point in the middle.
Grab 'em.
Richter, could you clear the soil back so we could see maybe where this is growing from?
Yeah.
Again, we'll stand back. It's all you. It's all you, Richter.
Perhaps a bit more caution might be exercised here. And I'll stand back, and with my mage hand, I'll just start like digging the soil. If we all stand back.
Okay, you dig some of the soil, but it seems to show the top of a root.
Can I give it a gentle see if I can loosen it in the soil?
You give it a gentle tug, and you pull out a dark purple carrot from the soil.
And I'll bring
An
it over
OG carrot.
to Zook to have a sniff.
Smell it.
You don't know. You don't know what this is. It looks like a purple carrot, which is the natural color of carrots.
Can I grab it and snap it?
You grab it, and as you begin to kind of do this, my door has gone. So we will pause it there.
Oh, every Thursday.
Break if you want.
Oh yeah.
As you
great.
start to
Great.
snap it, you feel your own penis begin to bend.
Oh no!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's
Not
schlang-
again!
It's the Schlangling's carrot.
The Schlanglinged carrot.
The Shangling!
Is everyone going?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
still
make
here.
a quick tea.
Oh, sounds like a great idea.
Everyone's weeing, it would seem. See if anyone's actually there watching.
Josh just said, as you bend to snap the carrot, you feel your penis bending as well.
Oh no. And then everyone ran for a wee.
You can just see smoke trails coming across Mike's camera.
420.
420.
She's hiding out of sight.
Oh, we've got to be nearly there. We've got to be. We must be close. There ain't no other result you can get on a D10. Ooh.
Indeed. Is this living up to your expectations of the maze so far?
Yeah, it's spooky. I thought we'd encounter more things. There'd be like weird maze creatures that would like chase us through the hedgerows. But
Well-
we obviously haven't encountered any yet.
It depended on the failures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know how many failures there are until you fully fail. Usually
Sure.
it's 3. It might have been more, it might have been 3, and you failed 2.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done all right.
I feel like a lot of the skill challenges you've done, you have actually fully failed because someone has rolled a crit fail and immediately
Yeah,
2
yeah.
failures and then fucked up.
Yeah, and then it's only three to lose most of the time. nice. It's nice to be consistently succeeding in a skill challenge. We've learned how to do them somehow.
Except for history knowledge, your knowledge of things
History,
never works.
the history knowledge, skill check knowledge to history my knowledge of mazes.
My history skill knowledge check. My
Amelia looked like she was like a dark banshee coming out of the hedgerow.
Stand back where you were for a sec.
Why?
Because you just appeared. Hang on.
Yeah.
I want to
Wait, a bit closer.
Just a spooky floating head. Mike, finish your smoke. We're starting. You can just see smoke coming into camera. From Mike.
Yeah, look.
Okay, we're gonna carry on. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So where did we leave off? You've just bent this carrot. As you bend it, and as it peels sort of apart, just slightly at the tip, at the center of where you're peeling it, an eye opens up, and it makes a kind of wet noise as it opens, and it just stares bloodshot sort of up at you as it kind of squirms. You throw it, it kind of lands, and you see the eye just kind of flicking about within the carrot.
Oh, good Lord, no! This is not okay. We should burn this place to the ground when we're done with it.
You say like this is like a field.
It's
not
a huge field. It's just a small clearing, but there's a little tilled patch of earth in the middle. Yeah.
Does the way these plants are grown, does it seem like farming, or does it seem like a sort of druidic practice? Because there's a lot of druid shit going on, and I'm a bit concerned that there's some kind of anti-druid.
Roll me a nature check.
That is an 18.
It looks kind of like a little garden, like a little allotment, but this is the only thing that's been planted. And you don't see any tools or anything.
Yeah.
But the ground has been kind of turned over to like you would when you're planting.
Yeah. Is there anything in the eye that seemed similar to Malik and Vishik's eyes?
No, it was like a purpley pink iris, and it just looked afraid.
Yeah. Very strange. I'm going to approach it again and poke it with the end of the staff.
It doesn't move, but the eye moves around.
What is this carrot? I've never seen anything like this. It's like a creature imitating a vegetable. Have you seen anything like this, Dylan?
Hang on. Let's see if I can do this.
Have you drawn it?
That's James's drawing of the carrot.
That's fucking grim.
I'm going to pick it up again and look at it and just like shake it about, see how it reacts.
It doesn't move. The only thing that moves is the eye.
Sure.
It looks as though it could potentially be brewed. It looks magical in nature, and you think that it looks edible. If you could eat it raw and it might do something, but you don't know what.
Sure.
It
Okay.
makes you see in the dark because it's a fucking carrot.
Good shout. Okay.
It totally does.
I'll reluctantly stuff it into my pouch and hope that it doesn't eat the other ingredients when it's in there.
Okay. I'd like you all to make intelligence saving throws for me, please. Oh, what did you get on your percentile, Dutch? Did you-
63.
Did you tell me? Did I? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
A 43.
I did it already.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was your delusion of being big.
Yeah.
Did you do Richter's one? Because I rolled a 4.
No, we did. He was fine.
Okay.
Okay. Intelligence saving throw.
Oh, as in, I thought someone else rolled and succeeded.
No, the
No.
last time we
Oh.
rolled,
No, the last one.
Right. Okay.
I did it. Got a 4.
Oh, Richter.
How many more carrots are there?
There's just the one.
Oh, just the one, is it?
Literally just the one carrot in the
Okay.
middle. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
24 for Richter. Oh, okay.
You want to bite it?
Richter is also extreme. Has extreme paranoia as well.
Oh God.
Richter's getting messed up.
Richter has 4 different madness
gee.
effects.
This is the second time he's been very
Yeah.
paranoid with us.
Yeah, we've messed it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is gonna helm the next leg? This is where it gets sketchy towards
So
the end.
Dylan sort
A
of
performance.
striding forth, will sort of kneel down and place face down the palms of his hands onto the earth and sort of broaden out his sense of the surrounding area, picking up on every single vibration, every sound, like sonic reflection, trying to sort of see which way to take based on like sort of like a larger sonic reading of the area, using sort of like, I suppose, my hearing and perception.
Okay, yeah, make me a perception check
Okay.
then.
So I do get advantage with hearing. Is that acceptable?
Yep.
With hearing perception. Oh, actually no, that's an 18 then. That will be a 29.
For the 29, you begin to lead the party further into the maze. And the hedgerows begin to like slightly change at this point. And they become older, more gnarled, more overgrown. They don't seem as freshly cut as they did when you first entered. And using your heightened smell and hearing and senses, you feel beneath your feet there is some kind of power in the earth. You feel the vibrations of it, and you feel it shifting. You feel hedgerows move out of sight around you. And using that to kind of place yourself, you make your way further through the maze. Roll me a d10. In fact, just roll me a d6, because there's only 2 left.
Okay. A 4.
A 4. You burst out into a very old, overgrown clearing. Ivy and vines covers what looks to be stonework in the centre. You hear the trickling of running water. There's a font sitting in the middle of this small clearing.
Rufus will gesture towards Guidon and say, "Look, friend, there's water here. You're thirsty, aren't you?"
Yes. I...
No, that isn't what Rufus would
I
do.
am. Yeah, well, he's going to begin walking forwards towards the water. You've said it now.
In a lapse of judgment, Rufus will grab his shoulder and will say, "Wait, no, we have seen this maze do evil things to good people. We must test this somehow. Vandel, is there any sort of magics coming from this font?"
I could... if you give me 10 minutes, I can ritually cast my my spell. I'm just magically brewing a small cup of tea. Thank you, unseen servant.
You're gonna get a fucking slap.
No, it's a spell. It's the name of a spell.
Oh dear.
He's gonna ritually cast Detect Magic as you wait for a little bit, because he doesn't have any more spell slots of that level, and I don't want him to waste a higher one.
In the time that he's doing that, can we just have a look at the font and look around the clearing, see
Sure.
if there's anything of
Make
note?
me a little perception check.
Yeah, a natural 1, which would become a 16, but it's a natural 1, so.
The font is of old sort of light stone, and it has crumbled and cracked in places where the ivy has like slowly began to kind of reclaim it. Water is spilling out slowly between some of these cracks and pooling on the ground, sort of in the in another kind of like bowl beneath, that seems to filter down somewhere and then slowly fill it back up. You can see there's a few small nozzles, like stone sort of cylinders, where water is slowly pouring out, but it's keeping it at the same, almost the same level as those holes. The water itself looks like crystal clear. It looks inviting, but you don't learn anything out of the ordinary.
Are there any sigils carved in the bowl or anything like that?
You can roll me an investigation check if you want.
Yeah. A 10.
I got a 22 on investigation.
Looking
23.
over it, you both sort of together discover that there are no runes of any kind across it. However, the water itself, at the right angle, even though there's no light, there's no sunlight, and looking up it is just pitch above you. There are no stars, there's no light coming down, but it's the light from the lantern seems to refract off the water in an iridescent way that implies that it's probably magical in some way. Fandel finishes casting his Detect Magic and begins to walk over. Oh my, yes. He dips a finger into it and licks. Do not worry, it is, yes. It would appear that this has restorative properties to the water. It is weak, but I think if one were to drink enough, it would restore perhaps some of their life capabilities. I believe. I will attempt to use my knowledge skill check of Arcana to knowledge check this water with a natural 18 plus 10. That would be a 28. Oh my. Well, this is quite something. It would appear that this would act almost as if a lesser restoration of some kind.
Richter, drink.
It would surely cure our comrades of their ill will. However, before you drink, there, Richter's like standing well back. I wonder of the quantity in this. I do not know if this is a everlasting font of magical water.
Can I just, I'm going to put my hand to it, and can I use shape water to stop it from draining out in back down, and just wait for it to fill up and see how much it fills up, so we can actually get a gauge of how much there is.
You stop it draining, and it stays at the level that it is, implying that the water that is moving is just somehow coming back up and repeating. and there is
Sure.
no
Stop flowing out.
there's no water
Source.
entering the system from somewhere else.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I think there's certain people that need this more than others. Dutch, thirsty?
I'm fucking drinking that.
Well, it's been checked out. It's good.
Says you.
You're like
It's
towering
healthy.
over them all, Dutch, in your mind.
Yeah, says you.
I do say, and you should trust me by now. How long have we known each other?
Look, don't trust this fucking maze, alright? And that's
Sure.
just in here. And what do we know if he hasn't, like, poisoned it better than your man can tell?
Maybe you've poisoned it, says Richter.
Yeah. You should have poisoned it.
Nobody's poisoned it. Well, look, go have a sit down if you don't want to drink it. Can I,
If you watch me drink it, will you have a drink too?
I'm not drinking anything. I'm not drinking anything that you've touched.
You could spit poison in it.
Wait, who said that, Richter?
Yeah.
Me.
I'm sorry about this, Dutch. And I just like, you see some sort of like arcane magic, like the sort of black veins go along his hand and up to his fingertips, and a few arcane glyphs. And suddenly there's this dark spike of black energy, and it thrusts into Dutch's like sort of mind and into his head. You see this, you physically see it, but he feels it enter his brain. Make a wisdom saving throw.
You have a disadvantage on that because of one of your...
Is it for is this gonna stun or unconscious me?
It's going to make you incapacitated.
Yeah, so you get... So it's a straight roll again.
Straight roll, yeah.
It's one of Dutch's... It's the School of Hard Knocks, it's called.
Oh, yes.
Stabs him and, yeah, it's like his head has been
Oh,
bashed so
damn.
many times. He's like... "Rrr."
Dash. Seeing this happen, can Rufus react and sort of understanding what Dylan's doing? Can I summon an avatar behind Richter and then swap places with it and then restrain Richter?
So it's a bonus action to cast it. It's a what to swap places, an action or a bonus action.
Actually, I don't need to swap places with it.
You can just get... So it's a bonus action, then an action. Sure. Roll me just a dex check real quick. I'm going to roll for Richter, see how quick he is.
Ooh, I got a 22.
Yeah, he got an 8 minus something. So, Dutch, what did you get for your wisdom save?
12.
Fail.
So what happens to Dutch?
He's incapacitated. At the end of each of his turns, he takes D12 psychic damage and has to make another wisdom saving throw. But yeah, I'm going to, once that's happened, I'm going to sort of push him to his knees and quickly grab out a my
Canteen.
water skin canteen and just scoop up a load of water and start shoveling it down Dutch's throat.
I'm gonna grab.
I'll say if he's incapacitated, you begin pouring this water down his throat.
And I'll sort of
I'm
like
gonna-
do the jugular movements to sort of...
Oh, like how you
swallow.
feed a dog a pill and a bit of ham.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll pull out a bit of water using the cantrip, like
Oh.
a stream, and then move it towards Richter's mouth.
That's even better way of doing it.
Hello, Bender.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You're going to try and restrain Richter. Roll me a grapple check.
Is that what is it? Just strength.
Athletics.
Ooh. Okay, a 21.
Yep. You
I'm gonna grab him from
You
behind.
grab
grab
Richter.
his
He
mouth
begins
and
struggling.
open it.
get off me,
Zook,
mayor.
quick.
You're no mayor to me. And he begins
Get the
like,
water in his mouth.
struggling.
Oh,
Richter,
No.
stand still.
No,
We mean the best.
no, no.
I try and like just engulf
your
his
medicine.
mouth with a big bubble of water and then just like push it down his gullet.
And as you begin kind of taking this out and feeding them, so you're feeding both.
Dutch will have to continually make wisdom saving throws if I'm doing it. It's every 6 seconds. So obviously, because every turn.
Roll me one more, Dutch.
He take some damage, unfortunately. So I'll roll.
It's
that
fine.
back.
I take half psychic damage because my brain's good.
When you're
Yeah,
raging,
he's
right? Though.
no, not
No.
that's the only one he has permanently because it's
amazing.
his
Oh,
part.
it worked so well then.
Yeah.
So that's
Don't
a
mess with
3
my
reduced to 1.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So I'll say
My
1.
wisdom save as well.
This is good.
I got a 16.
That is
Wow.
the DC, I'm afraid.
You break it, but they have fed you some. So I'd like you to roll me a D6, but a D3, and I'll take one of them away.
Please be the paranoid.
I got a 3.
So you got the third, as in a 3 or a 3 on the D3.
I rolled a 6, so
Yeah,
a
yeah,
3 on
yeah.
D3.
So you no longer have the ticks,
That's good.
but you still think you're massive.
I fix that anyway, so.
And you still
Having extreme
have
paranoia.
And yeah, okay, cool. I'm paranoid.
Richter, roll a D4 for me.
Okay. It's a 2.
2. He no longer has paranoia.
Well, that's good.
You notice that the bowl is about half empty now. There's enough for essentially 2 more dishes of water.
I'm going to
We
scoop
could
up
give
another
some to,
serving, and I'm going to say to Dutch, I don't fucking trust these guys. You need to drink this now, otherwise they're going to get us.
I'm not going to make you roll. I'm going to Dutch. It's up to Dutch what he thinks in that moment, being paranoid.
But I'm not ticking.
Hey?
So, yeah, fuck them. I should have trusted you to begin with, because we're the same anyway. It's those
these guys
cunts.
can't
It's the
fucking trust
posh
these
ones.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, you feed him some more water. Roll me a D2. So roll a D6 and lower or higher.
Another 6.
Another 6. So you no longer have the delusions.
So paranoid.
It's just paranoid now.
And I need to
Oh no.
roll for Richter.
Just
Roll a
ordinarily
D3 for
paranoid.
Richter, please.
Okay, yeah. 4. No, 2.
So a 2. Richter no longer is attached to his halberd in this horrific way, which was giving him disadvantage on attacks, ability checks, and saving throws if he wasn't going to be within 30 feet of it, but he kind of was.
Oh god.
That's good.
I just got to run over here real quick. So decide, you can sense you are near. For the last leg, who is going to helm that?
What's everyone got?
I've still got. I think I've got nature. I've used survival and perception. And I've got animal handling and acrobatics, but I don't see how acrobatics will come.
Yeah.
Brother, why don't you just look through your bird's eyes while we follow it and walk along?
I think I've done perception already, so I can't do that. Yeah.
Have you got survival?
I do have survival, but it's measly +6, so pretty
That's
risky.
fine.
I could give you advantage with this spell.
It's up to you.
We could combo.
Guidance or bless?
I don't think Tashi vetoes guidance.
Yeah, well, it only lasts for a minute, so if it's if you're tracking, it'll
if
just
you're
fade.
tracking it, it lasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's like a continuous skill check, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't
that
have any
helps.
other spells that would help.
I've got augury. So woe and wheel, so I can ask if the way ahead is safe or bad, or is the right way or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
Yes
I'd
or
like. What? Yeah. It's a woe or weal, so good or bad.
no? Okay, yeah. So you can just do it if it's a split decision. We can just sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. Could we wait until we find a fork in the road, or like a turning off, or just like a single turning off from the path we're on?
Yeah, easily done.
Dutch drops to his knees, pulls out his statue of Luthic, places it on the floor in front of him, looks over his shoulder, then moves further away from the party again, puts it back down, looks over his shoulder, then continues to lay out his stuff. Praying to Luthic, knowing that she is probably the only person or being that he can trust, asks if the way ahead is true.
Pray to those thick haunches.
Oh, did you mean thick with 2 C's?
Yeah, that's what I typed.
No, you typed it with a K. And I thought you were
Oh.
just calling Dutch thick.
You hear wheel
We could.
and woe.
Oh.
And
Nice.
I'm going to class this as both a success and a failure.
Oh.
Oh.
So,
Intéressant.
I think we only needed one more anyway.
When all else fails, pretend you're a cleric.
with that, you step forth in the direction that is both. It is the right way, it is the true way, but it is also the untrue way. As you approach, you reach the end of what appears to be a dead end. Tendrils spring out, grabbing you and thrusting you in, pulling you in, Dutch, face first. You feel them sort of tearing across your skin, and you take some d6.
This is such a Balthazar way to get to the end of the maze. He has to take some hurt.
Yeah.
So he loves
quick.
it.
No.
18 points of slashing and piercing damage.
Okay.
As,
So take
You take a good
as it
stitching.
begins to kind of claw across you, and not only that, but it's not the magic one. I need you to tell
How much
me-
was that? Sorry, 18.
18 points. I need you to tell me what magic items you have on you.
Uh-oh.
No.
Mike's worst fear.
No.
He's just gone. He's just like...
I have on me my leathers and feathers.
Okay.
Oh my god, yeah.
I have
Hang on, I've got
my.
to write it down in an order.
It doesn't work anymore.
Just wearing garish feathers for no reason.
Okay, leathers
I
and
like
feathers.
the feathers.
Leathers and feathers. What else?
My +1 bracer.
Okay, +1 bracer.
My guitars.
Guitars.
My whip.
Whip. Is that the snake whip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Gloves?
my gloves.
Gloves.
Oh,
How many of these are you tuned to?
It doesn't matter
All
what
of
he's
them.
attuned to. It's just if it's on him.
all of them. Did you say such?
Keep
I thought so.
going.
So
Keep going.
too.
Keep going.
No, that's all of them. That's what I meant, all of them.
You haven't got any other magical things on you at all.
No. They all went in the last bag.
Okay.
That's true. We lost a lot of stuff. That
You don't have any rings or anything that's magical that you've ever got?
I have no magical rings, no.
Okay. In that case,
I just have lots of rings.
D&D and no magical rings.
In that case, roll me a d6, but ignore the 6.
Don't roll a 1.
6, nothing happens.
Well, I've swapped them around, so he's not going to know what numbers which.
I rolled a 4.
Oh no.
You pull him. You try and pull him back out, but he's pulled through. And Rufus, as you rush up towards him, they immediately part with the lantern light. They are pulled back away, and revealed in the center of this clearing is.
Wait, am I grappled by this tree?
No. As Rufus ran up with the light, it immediately moved away from you.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
You see
Look, lovely flowers.
Um,
Oh no.
let's double check that the stream's definitely on the right thing. Cool, yeah. You see an open clearing. Ignore on the map the trees and that bit. That's just over the hedge, more maze that you can't see, obviously.
Yeah.
You see a large open cobbled area, spherical, with different routes heading off in kind of 4 different directions. In the center of the clearing is a kind of raised platform with a statue atop it. The statue appears to be of a weeping woman with a hood up. She has the top half of her face has never been carved. It's just smooth stone, but you can see just like tear marks, which look to be carved in, and then kind of over time dirt has kind of gotten in them, so there's these streaks down her face. Her mouth is slightly open, and the tears sort of pour down across her. She holds her arms around a huge hourglass, kind of cradling it upright in this direction. It is empty, and in the very center, where the 2 kind of halves of the hourglass meet, there is a large sort of hole that goes through into the statue itself. Not all the way through, but it kind of goes into darkness in the center. All around the edge of the statue itself are bones scattered about and kind of almost piled up like a snowdrift.
Does it look
Nice.
like the bones have been blown away from the statue?
If anything, kind of pushed up against it.
Oh, pushed up against it. Okay.
This must be it. No.
We've entered this place, but there's no other ways leaving it. Is that correct?
There are. You've entered from the south. You've kind of entered from the bottom of the map, and there are. You can see two other paths either side, and another path further along. And looking straight across, you can see that it's just a dead end, like where you've come from. You turn round and you see the maze closing up behind you. You all stand there with Fandel, Richter, and Guidon.
This must be the place. We're going to walk up towards the statue.
Okay.
I'll circle around to the right. That hole, is the hole roughly the same shape as the cylindrical thing that we found in the room?
It is. It's about this big, the central hole.
That looks like something that we could fit this artifact into, no?
Indeed, it would seem. As we're walking up towards it, Rufus will turn towards Fandel and ask him if he gets any magical senses from this. Is there anything we should fear?
I could take 10 minutes to ritually cast detect magic if you wish. But
I wish it, please.
okay. And he immediately begins kneeling down and placing some small chalk runes on the ground.
It's okay. I'll do this one. And I cast detect magic as an action.
Ah.
Yes. What do I get from the statue?
The statue radiates nothing, but the hourglass radiates necrotic magic as well as transmutation.
Oh no.
What does transmutation do?
It's like changing things.
Yeah.
Like polymorph is transmutation.
Yes.
Right.
It ages you.
It's death magic and the magic of change. I don't know what that could mean. It could be that it changes the statue into some undead creature. It could be that it brings you closer to death. I'm not sure. Perhaps
Or
it'd be
all these bones here. Like a guard, perhaps, for the vault, in case the wrong person comes looking.
Can I make a suggestion? Pardon me, I think I've got something in my throat. It's all right.
It's one of those quills, those scales.
What if using the key, take something from whoever used it, like their youth.
What about doing it from a distance?
Individuals.
Can we investigate these bones around them? Are they like, bodies of people who have maybe come looking, or have they been placed there?
Looking at the bones, you see that they appear to be a variety of small animal bones, similar to the drawers that you found within Balthazar's chambers. But among them, there are a few humanoid skeletons as well.
Oh, okay. We must put ourselves in the shoes of Balthazar if he was here. These are the same as that were in his drawer that he used to put a soul into this lantern. Is the same process needed again?
Something similar, I think.
As you get closer, inspecting around the statue, I'd like you to make me an investigation check, please. Rufus.
A natural one.
22.
Are you investigating as well?
Yeah.
Rufus sort of just looks and feels forlorn at the weeping lady, but Dylan, you feel around the kind of various grooves of the statue until you find something etched in to the hourglass, to the rim of the bottom of the hourglass around. You can feel that it is language of some kind. But you don't immediately recognize what.
Where? Let me see. And Rufus uses his Eldritch Invocation, Eyes of the Runekeeper, to read all writing
It is celestial, and it reads, "An offering of mortal essence to buy the sands of time. But how much coin can you really afford?" And then underneath, in smaller type, is Lord Byronian Balthazar the First.
Cool.
Ironian.
Does that can Rufus use history to like know anything about it, or perhaps is the statue itself someone recognizable?
Sure. Roll me a history check.
Oh, natural one. 2 in a row.
Wow, lucky they were just like knowledge sort of based checks. No, you have no idea.
I think it needs some kind of offering, much like the lantern did.
How much is it going to take?
Well, it's hard to tell if the bones of these animals were done at one time or individually, considering there's humanoid bones here.
Can we not use the soul in the lantern already?
I think that would be too easy.
Worth a try, though. Isn't it? I mean,
I'm concerned once we start, we might not be able to stop. And if we don't have another offering, then it might take the life force of one of us.
we need something for it to sacrifice.
And I'll look
Good
at
thing
Zook in
we've
the
got
eye,
Gwyndon.
and I'll say, or someone. And I'll give him a knowing stare.
Wait,
Zook goes,
at Guido.
"No."
No,
No,
that's
no.
Zook. I'm just doing like a sort of a suggestive look. Like I'm referring obviously to Guidon.
What? No. Him?
Maybe we suggest that Gwyndon and Fandel fight to the death and the winner gets it.
I don't hate it.
We can take a pew and watch it.
I'm just going to use this as Guidon.
Yeah.
For now.
What's the sort of ratio between human and animal bones around the statue?
There's
That's a good point, actually. That's a good way to do it.
there's about 3 humans, and the rest are what look to be animal bones.
Is there a difference in the age that these bones look like? Is it
Um,
hard to tell?
Roll me a medicine check.
Is a 14?
Some of the bones look ancient, and some of them still have a little bit of flesh still on them, bit of gristle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the animal bones have gristle on. The human ones are old.
Sure.
I don't see why we can't try and use the soul in the lantern, because we don't particularly need it.
Needed to get out.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, how about you try and call forth some of your bird friends, Ruthus, and failing that, we have a difficult choice to make.
Rufus looks towards Zook.
Zook kind of looks towards the statue and then towards Guidon and just bows his head and then like nods to Rufus. It has to be.
I do not wish it either, but if I must value a life over another, then I would choose a human over well, like another being over a animal.
What?
Don't worry, Guidan. You're safe.
We'll get
I
you
look
out of
back-
here.
He begins like backing up away from you all.
Place a hand on his shoulder.
Huh?
A tight hand.
Please.
Rufus will take some more rations out of the bag and crumple them up and say to Zook, "Hey," that was a weird voice.
Hey.
Zook,
Hey.
hey there, friend.
Well, howdy, Dip.
Zook, do you have that apple you had earlier?
I do. I
You
picked
may
it,
as
take it
well
out.
prepare them
slice
a
it.
last feast, if you will.
Sure. I
Is he
slice it
gonna-
up with my bone knife.
Just lay out loads of sort of like nice crumbs and food and stuff that birds and whatever might like. And then once it's out, sort of at the base of the statue, just start calling out using beast speech.
You begin calling out. Make me an animal handling check.
A 10.
You wait. How are you calling out? In like whistling and making sort of small animal noises?
I don't know. I guess beast speech is speak with animals at will. So in bird language, whatever comes out. Yeah, bird call. Gonna call out in pigeon. So it's just like whoo, whoo, whoo.
Can I?
Over and over again.
Is it too late to say I'm helping him do this, like whistling?
Sure. You can roll with advantage.
You go reroll.
Slightly better, so 14.
After about 10 minutes or so of doing this, a small blackbird that you recognize with a slightly crooked wing comes kind of flapping slightly over from the right hand side and lands and kind of slowly scoots its way up towards you, looking up. More food! As it pecks
Indeed,
down and
as-
begins eating some of the apple.
As payment for helping us earlier.
Whilst this is happening, I'm helping Fandel with the key.
To do what with the key?
You said it would fit into the statue.
You're placing it in?
Getting ready to.
Okay.
I'm going to approach the blackbird, and Ruth. I'm going to put my hand on Ruth's shoulder and say, "If you don't mind, I'd like to be the one that does this. I feel it's my place as the gatekeeper between the natural world and everything else."
Indeed. Rufus kneels down towards the crow and introduces the crow to Zook, the archdruid of air.
Please, friend, take your fill.
It like scoffs it down. You know, when you see it in its throat, and it's just.
Yeah. I'm going to say you've earned it. You've been most kind, and I am truly your undying companion. And I'll cast animal friendship on it, which I can do for free once per day as one of my feats.
It immediately kind of
critter friend.
nuzzles you a little bit and kind of hops up onto your arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little stroke on the back of its head, and I'm gonna say it'll be okay. You enjoy the snacks, and I'm gonna keep feeding it bits of apple and like the rations and stuff as I sort of walk over. Oh, sorry, I kind of float round and just stand next to the statue in front of the key thing. I'm just gonna be feeding it, like stroking its feathers.
Stick that key in.
Stick that key in.
Putting it in?
Unless you have any better ideas, Fandel.
I am unsure about this.
Well,
We can only
we've got
give it a go, I suppose.
Looks like we've got a bit of time if you want to investigate it further.
Okay, sure. He's gonna roll an Arcana check.
I'll lend him a hand.
Ooh, okay.
I'm efficient also.
Oh, that becomes a 24. He studies the kind of area around where the keyhole would fit and where the runes would line up. Yes, indeed, there are runes on the inside of the of here. I see them on the underneath, and we should be able to match it up. And if we turn it clockwise somewhat, it should initiate something. My worry is that it would appear that the necromantic magic, as you say, is not locked on the key, but rather separate sigils on the inside of this here area, as well as the transmutative symbols. The transmutative symbols match up with this here key, but the necromantic ones do not. Implying perhaps if one were to place the bird into the slot first, maybe something would happen.
Okay.
Is it big enough for the bird to get in?
It's massive because the geometric key is like unlocked to be really big.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I float up to the statue, and I get the last bits of apple, and I sprinkle them inside the statue.
With
And
animal
I pop the
friendship,
bird
it hops on in.
Yeah, and I just put my hand on the side of the statue and just say, "Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. May your soul find its way back to this world."
A light shines out from within the hole. It's like a dark green light.
It turns to ash.
And yeah, you just hear this as it green light and green energy like pulses on the inside, and you see dripping from that section into the bottom of the sand timer a small amount of like a green necrotic liquid or energy. It splats to the bottom and makes a small pool at the bottom of the hourglass. It doesn't even fill the bottom. It just makes a splat.
Oh no. Does it? So we. How many blackbirds would it take to fill up this hourglass?
What's your intelligence?
14.
Probably 100, maybe more.
Oh fuck!
He died for no reason.
Can we not just trap one of those bigger animals with the quills?
Ooh. Well, that would involve going hunting in a labyrinth. Or we could wait for one.
Listen.
Does it need to be living? Do you think? Because we've got a body in the bag of withholding.
Probably needs souls, doesn't it?
Maybe souls.
Bell, could you shed any light on this matter?
I think it's life essence, as it's said in the scripture upon it. I don't think it's the soul, but instead your force of life. One could probably give over as much or as little as they could afford, as it says on said scripture.
Wait. No one has to die. No one. A bit late for the blackbird. Yes. No, it's all meant to be. It's all falling into place, like a small trickle becoming a torrent in a gorge. It all makes sense now. Restore life. Preserve balance. Self-sacrifice. As Zook intones the creed of
You can have an
high
inspiration dice. An inspiration point, sorry.
Canopy. Ooh!
Very good.
I was about to grab old what's his face.
He's
Ah.
like shivering next to you.
Give in to the Queen's urges. Shove him in.
I'm going to place a hand on Zook's shoulder. Zook, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, he's been living in this labyrinth for years. It would be a blessing for him, truly.
It's almost as if it's freeing for me to give this, as if it's what the tree wants, to spend my life essence, a life that will be reborn anew. I'm a gnome. I've got many years to live, and even in my passing, my soul, it will return to the land, and I'll become a new life, perhaps in 10 years, perhaps in 1,000. This is not a sacrifice for me, and yet it is a sacrifice for Gwylyn and for all of us. It's something I want to do, not just something I have to do. It's okay. Honestly, I look around at all of them. I can afford this. I may not have gold or understand it, but I know the value of life, and I'm willing to spend some of mine.
Rufus will walk up beside Zook and grab his shoulders and look him in the eyes and give him a knowing nod. Then I shall go with you, Zook. As the leader of this party, I cannot expect any of its members to give their life essence away freely without me doing exactly the same thing.
You feel a
I
presence.
shall join you in this.
You feel a presence next to you, and Richter stands there. I too.
Well,
I appreciate it.
it's not like once we've worked through this mess and whatever's going on in the Varamark, I'll have too much else really worth doing. I'll join you in this, friends. I know you will live for many years longer, but
I appreciate that. Dutch, you stay right there. Orcs do not have a lot to give.
I'm fucking doing nothing.
Fair enough.
I fear that I potentially don't have that much longer left, and but I do have some life force. Perhaps I could spend a little.
Vendel, please. You're an older man. Let us young folk do this.
Very well.
Aye. So I guess put my hand into the chamber.
The light emanates from it, and your hand tenses with pain, shoots through your arm. You see Zook's body begin to glow from the inside. You can see his bone structure underneath his flesh. You can see how it's bent and almost like broken from the power of the Sky Stone. Zook, you feel a presence absorbing from you, but you sense it rather than taking, asking, how much health, HP, are you going to give?
Did it ask the bird?
It just took.
It just took. I'm going to give 20. No, I'm going to give 25 hit points.
Okay. Let me just pop something out real quick. You cry out as green begins to pour down beneath into the bottom of the hourglass and begins to slowly fill. It fills maybe, I mean, the bottom is the widest, fills maybe a couple inches, and that's it.
Holy shit.
Fandel turns, what we can afford.
It's not years that we have to give it. It's vitality.
Quite.
Blood.
It's essence. Life's blood.
Dylan puts his hand inside as they discuss.
How much health are you willing to part with?
60.
60.
Big spender. Did that? It just I just take away 25 hit points.
Take away 25 hit points. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a max thing.
It doesn't reduce your max. You see it fill up rapidly at this point. It fills up. 5 minutes. Hang on, let me figure this out. So.
Oh god, this is like that scene in Saw when they're like, there's that blade and they're putting their arms in.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene.
Ooh.
Oh.
Juicy.
So it's like whenever I ever watch them, like I haven't watched one in many a year, but last time I watched it, I was like, this is tame. It's tame now.
This is tame compared to D&D.
Yeah, D&D.
Yes.
Is the paranoia like a charmed or frightened sort of thing?
No, it's a madness.
Oh fuck.
You see it fill up. It fills up quite rapidly from here until it's about nearly 3/4 of the way full. I don't. Who has the highest intelligence? Is it Dylan?
Yeah.
What's your intelligence?
16.
Just make me a straight intelligence roll.
Okay. Don't fucking blue dice. Oh. 7.
A 7. I wanted to give you the opportunity of figuring something out as well, but Fandel is there. An hourglass of this size and magnitude, if it were to pour a liquid this viscous through it, I could probably deduce the amount of time that it would give us. A physical time, perhaps. It is 3/4 of the way full. If it was to tip and turn, I would say we'd roughly have about 3/4 of an hour. I believe this might be an hour. An hourglass. That makes sense. Yes.
3/4 of an hour to do what exactly?
What would happen if we filled it up the whole way so that when it turned on its side, it didn't move?
I don't. You've stumped me, Dutch. You have certainly stumped me at that. A scholar will make of you yet.
Well, let's give ourselves the max amount of time that we can have. Rufus will put his hand in and give. How much did you give? 60, and that filled it up a lot.
We're on 86.
We need you though. We probably will need your combat prowess.
Richter's going to step forwards and say, I have plentiful vitality if we need.
It's true. I can always heal us up before we go in.
I've already put my hand in.
Okay. Rufus thrusts his hand in, and you're going to give the rest?
Yeah, I say take what you need to be full.
Okay. So you fill it up. Oh no, I've just undone loads. Hang on. Okay, in that case. It's be 34. to get to 120 points of health. So you take 34 points of necrotic damage, although it's not even damage, it's like reducing it. And oh yeah, shit. No, you're like, it is max health because it's not damage, it's reducing your vitality. So it reduces your max health by that amount. Would have you probably changed your mind?
I mean, it's done now, so I presume it comes back, doesn't it?
It's not forever, but you imagine it's probably a long rest or something until
It's
you
fine.
can get
It's
that
done
back.
now.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll allow you to change, and if other people want to give a bit and Dylan take less, that's fine.
Does it reduce? It reduces our max and our current by the amount.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you've taken damage, you reduce it equally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'll have one more hit point than that.
Ooh.
With that, the hourglass fills right up to the middle point, just beneath where the entrance is, but nothing happens.
Time for the key, I think.
Yeah, let's bust it open.
Zook, you hear a rustling, a shredding, followed by a
Oh fuck!
noise bursting from the sides of the clearing where the hedge is. You see a pulse had kind of detonated from the statue, and all around you hear various howls. Something leaps over the 15-foot high hedge on the far end at the top, skidding in the like dirt and sort of peat to the side. You see before you a hideous monstrosity, a long creature with a like purple sort of purple hide skin. Its back legs are kind of hooked into the ground. Its front legs are more like arms, stocky and muscular, with large bone-like claws on the front. All down its back are these purple, ending into white bone spines all the way down. And its face, instead of where you'd imagine like a normal beast's maw to be, it is instead bone over the top. Or maybe even their face is just bone itself. These circular orange eyes with no lids protrude from the bone kind of hollow area where that is. It rakes the ground and howls, and you hear the howls of a few more around you. And that is where we'll end today's session.
Oh, baby!
Yeah.
Oh,
Well done,
That's it.
everyone. Yeah,
Very nice.
You managed to avoid combats in the maze earlier on, which was good. Which could have been horrible because I had a map. It's really thin alleys.
Yeah.
And pretty shit. Whereas now you're fighting some other things, but out in the open, which is a bit better. Oh yeah, I'll just show you what it looks like. Hang on.
Oh please.
absolutely.
Wait, what are you showing us on?
There it is on roll 20. It skids to a halt at the top.
Oh, let's have a look.
It's like a
Oh
weird...
man, it's so shit with the Mac mouse.
It's not the best
The
quality.
jackal.
I need to pay for roll 20 really, and then I can actually have
spiny.
Making
space
it.
to put new music and nice.
Oh, that's
quality images in.
literally exactly what I thought it looked like.
Oh, good. That means I described it well.
I imagine that, yeah, it looks like Samael the Desolate one, you know, from the first Hellboy, the only good one.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's such a good one. I love that film.
That film is so fucking good.
And with that,
Ooh.
we will call it there. Thank you for watching, everyone. Join us next time as the plot thickens and the vault doors open.
The plot thickens like a good gravy, and you don't make a good gravy with this, so.
All right, peace, everyone.
Bestow hatred.